Okay, welcome back everyone. We are about to start the next section. So everybody that is in the live auditorium, please take your seats immediately. Everybody that is online, please close all the distracting tabs. Focus on this one, right here, right now. That is kind of the virtual way of calling people to sit down. So next up, we're going to be talking about something crucial and quite important. Because when it comes to food, it's not just the food itself, it's also how we treat the food and what do we do with it. And one process in particular, freezing, can cost us billions of euros and can actually be quite destructive to our planet, unless, of course, we have a perfect solution. So, I'd like to welcome up on stage Andrey Pechurin, the CEO of Acoustic Extra Freezing. Andrey, please come on up on stage. Welcome. Woo!
Hello, everyone who is online and here at the epicenter. You probably know that frozen food is not very tasty. For example, if we freeze raspberry, it becomes sour and mushy. Have a look, please. This raspberry was frozen with acoustic extra freezing technology and then defrosted, and it is sweet. I have taken this photo in Italy myself and still remember the delicious taste. If we take traditional freezing, expanding ice crystals damage food cells, penetrating them as sharp needles. As a result, we get worse taste, softer texture, and lower nutritional value. Consumers know that very well. The price of frozen fish or meat is 25% or even more lower than for the chilled products. Here is the solution. The acoustic waves control the growth of ice crystals inside the cells, preventing them from damage. No more sharp needles. It's like snow powder inside the cells. After defrosting, fish or meat is the same as fresh and can be sold at the same price level. So what's the technology about? We installed the equipment into industrial freezers. By the way, the acoustic waves do not produce cold. They just shape emerging ice crystals. Transducers emitting the waves are linked by wires to a control unit with high-tech electronics inside. The most important part is software. We have special freezing algorithms for various types of food. And we can customize the solution for clients' needs. What is our competitive advantage? Acoustic extra freezing is the only digital freezing technology with different programs for different types of food. Some Japanese companies use magnetic fields, but still they have only one program, and their equipment costs far more than ours. Now I will give you some real examples from our clients. They can freeze tasty local berries in the harvest season at low price and use them for processing all year round until the next season. They can freeze desserts and distribute it through the conventional cold chain all over the world. After defrosting, customer wouldn't notice a difference with the fresh one. Next example. If you have defrosted fish at home, you know that there is a liquid which goes out of the fish. It's called drip loss. Pescanova, a fishing company from Spain, has identified that drip loss in IF frozen hagfish is almost zero. Now they lose 3.7% of total value of the fish as a liquid. And of course, the color and taste of the fish is far better. Frozen ready meals is a booming segment worldwide. We can freeze almost any combination of main course and side dish. EIT food companies and partners can greatly benefit applying this technology. Food waste is almost zero because the storage life of such products is several months without any loss of quality. Moreover, These frozen ready meals can be distributed all over the world. This is a chance for local communities to get the world know about, for example, tasty and healthy and sustainable Finnish meals. Who are the customers? Food processing companies operating in fish, seafood, meat, poultry, fruits, berries, vegetables, ready meals. What benefits do customers get? Long shelf life, cost saving, energy saving up to 20%. They can increase their revenue by selling products at higher prices. Also, they can enter new markets and introducing new products. The team has a great experience in food industry, engineering, and business. Igor can freeze literally everything. Dmitry is a serial entrepreneur and inventor, and I have corporate background and responsible for international business development. We have sold more than 70 units in 20 countries, in Europe, Asia, and even New Zealand. We got CE certificate, and we got patent pending in Finland this year. We started cooperating with leading manufacturers of freezing equipment in the world, and you can visit our test labs in several countries to freeze your food samples. Our business model is very simple. We sell equipment and services to food industry. Small unit costs around 10,000 euro, and I have module to install into industrial freezer of a medium size, cost around 40,000. Also, we charge for services up to 10% of the hardware. We do R&D, software development, and product customization in-house, and outsource most manufacturing operations. Currently, we produce hardware in Russia and Bulgaria. The frozen food market is huge, 300 billion euro. That's the revenue of our potential clients. Global food production of for frozen food suitable for freezing is more than 2 billion tons. Only a quarter of that amount is currently frozen. Our technology can double the market if it becomes an industrial standard. For example, the market of individual quick freezers is 15 billion euro. We aim to reach 7% of the market, aiming at 1 billion sales. The team has been bootstrapping for 5 years, investing more than 2 million in R&D and early commercialization. Here is the good news for investors. We are operationally profitable and got 20+ net profit margin. Last year, we got 350,000 euro revenue. This year, despite the COVID situation, aim to exceed 500,000 barrier. And in a couple of years' time, going to reach 4 billion in revenue. Now we're looking for investments, 4 million euro, to grow sales internationally and scale. We need that money to complete the process of international patenting in many countries and enter US market, the biggest frozen food market in the world. Also, we need to scale manufacturing of big industrial units and run some pilot projects in the States and in Europe, and to grow sale to 4 million in a couple of years. Ladies and gentlemen, acoustic extra freezing is a great opportunity for food industry, for investors, and for our society. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Andrey. Don't freeze me. Okay, let's see some questions from anyone, either online or offline. Saga can always save me, right? Saga, let's go straight to you this time.
And I won't ask about financials. So anyway, I would like to hear a little bit more about the freezing process itself and also how it differs from traditional freezing. And then the last question to that is that how is the cold chain of delivery? Does it differ from the traditional cold chain of food?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. I will start from the second one. Basically, after IF freezing, you put the frozen products into conventional frozen chain because ice crystals are already formed, and basically all you need is minus 20 something. That's it. How it differs from traditional freezing? Traditional freezing use, as I said, just one program. You put a batch of frozen products inside the freezing chamber, close the door of the chamber, and that's it, and just wait. In our case, the transducers generate the signals. They deal with emerging ice crystals, do not allow them to grow. So at the end, we get the same freezing process, but with tiny ice crystals inside the cells. That's the basic explanation.
Thank you so much. Ture, I see you have a... You're ready for a question, I can see.
Yes, I'm very curious. It seems very interesting. And so what happens actually when the products are defrosted? Is there something that prevents ice crystals forming on that process if it's not thawed fast enough, or what happens?
Okay, before defrosting, there is a storage stage. After traditional freezing, the process of growing of the crystals is actually continuous. It's called recrystallization. So the bigger the crystals are, the more they attract other crystals. And that also spoils the quality. In our case, during the storage phase, as the crystals are smaller, that actually goes smoother, the whole process. Defrosting is very important for freezing. And by the way, we are working on the solutions in the defrosting as well with our technology. But still, you need to avoid big differences in temperature. Do not put, let's say, into the room temperature from minus 24. So actually, it is industrial process as well, the defrosting one. In our case, you have to defrost meat or fish in temperature close to +3. And after defrosting, you get them as fresh. So they look fresh, they taste fresh, no liquid goes out, etc. The only thing is you cannot defrost vegetables. You need to cook them immediately in frozen form, for example, to fry. Otherwise, it's the same. And one more thing, berries do not live long after defrosting. You need to consume them in a couple of hours or use them for food processing immediately.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Saga, I'm going to check if there's online somebody first. I see two questions, right? So let's go with Christoph first, and then we'll go to Mark.
I have just a small question. It is, how difficult is it actually for the food producers to change or adjust the existing production processes to introduce your technology? That would be interesting.
We retrofit existing freezing chambers without the technology, basically installing these equipments into the freezing chambers on the perimeter. And also we add the control unit, which contains just 5 buttons, and that's it. So basically you select a program, press button, and the process starts. Very simple process.
Thank you so much. Let's go, Barnica.
Yes, hello, thank you. I have 2 questions. The first one, this price differential of 25%, that is the potential business case for the food producer, I guess. Have you proven, or is there any proof that you can actually get that effect, or at least some of it, given that we're working with consumer expectations? So do you have any kind of test results from customers, is the first. Second, you were talking about also cooperating with already existing industry freeze producers, so basically your competitors. So I was wondering, is there an alternative business model, which is basically to be the tech provider to all of the freezing people out there?
Okay, I'll start with the second question. So basically, they're not competitors, they are partners. We signed NDA agreement just last year with a major German producer of freezing tunnels. So we're going to install our equipment into their freezing tunnels. So they will use more value-added solution to their customers. So there is no contradiction. And Now we are in the process of doing sensory tests in Finland with VTT for fish and in Vietnam for shrimps. And experts in the shrimps actually gave us very high estimates of the taste. So basically, at the moment, there are no such shrimps at the markets like we achieve with our technology. So there is even higher potential for price increase. So you can introduce premium brands, basically, for frozen seafood.
Thank you so much. Saga, you have a quick question, I hope. This time, yes?
A very short one. I saw the cake there, and I have some experience in the bakery industry, and I was quite excited that with the acoustic technology, can you get fresh berries on the cakes, or were you thinking of the inside for the process industry? You know, the thing is that it's really difficult with the fresh berries when you garnate your cake. But if
Okay, we can freeze the cakes with berries. We have to cover berries with a tiny layer of...
But if you defrost the berries, they don't look like fresh berries.
You saw real examples on the pictures. We will show you and bring you a sample. It is the best way to convince.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I guess you're saying that you can freeze the berry.
We do.
And
yeah.
it still looks fresh after defreezing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. All right. Does it answer your question? Excellent. Thank you so much for your presentation. Best of luck with everything. And yes, warm hand of applause.